Hey guys, welcome back to my channel or to Twitter Spaces if you're listening to me on there. I have my AirPods plugged in, so hopefully you can hear me on Twitter Spaces and hear me on YouTube as well. So just comment or let me know if for whatever reason you can't hear me. But this is a halftime show, as I have started doing here on the page and on the channel, where today I'm going to be talking about the craziness that is this Chelsea Man City game. Make sure to comment any of your thoughts, questions, because I'm going to be reading them out through halftime as well. And I want to make this as interactive as possible and get your thoughts on the match as well. So first, let's take a look at the starting 11. And if you do want to see some graphics, please do tune into the YouTube stream as well. I have some very, very small graphics up here. But starting off with the starting 11, honestly, no surprises there. I think I saw a couple of shots from Mudryk, but honestly, after the cameo that he made, I wasn't surprised to not see him starting. And we're seeing that Poch is going with the same starting 11. The only difference being that Levi Colwill hasn't started this match. And it seems that I'm actually curious to know where he is because he's not on the bench. And to my knowledge, he wasn't out injured either. And he's not listed as one of the missing players on SofaScore. So if anybody knows where Levi Colwill is, let me know. But I did think that it made sense to start Cucurella ahead of Colwill because we saw versus Spurs that he was a bit out of position and he's not a natural out and out left back. And I thought that Chelsea actually started this game really well. These two sides are the sides with the most possession in the league so far this season. So it was going to always be an interesting battle to see who was going to come out on top and see if either of the teams kind of adapt, because you don't really see Pep adapting so much and you don't think that Poch is going to adapt the tactics. Both of these managers want to play their game and their style of football. So I thought that Chelsea started the game really well. Let's talk about the first incident, the penalty incident. Let me know in the comments, guys. Is this a penalty? Was it a penalty? I'm going to try to find let's see if I can find some pictures of Cucurella on here. So I'm going to start sharing my screen here. I wish I had a moderator. If anybody wants to be a mod for me and help me with this stuff, that would just be amazing. But for me, I don't think it's a penalty. As you can see here, that Erling Haaland starts the shirt pulling first, and then Cucurella, he is pulling his shirt, but I just felt like that was a really, really harsh pen to concede. So let me know in the comments here on Twitter Spaces. We have I am Ozzy saying not a penalty. Do you guys agree? What do you think about this decision? Because for me, I don't think that it was a penalty. I thought that it was harsh. I'm seeing a lot of people saying that like another shocker by Anthony Taylor against Chelsea, adding it to the list of grievances. But I just felt that it was a really, really soft penalty. I'm going to see if there's anything else. This person on Twitter says, yes, that should not have been a pen. Cucurella was fouled in the process by Haaland, which led to the incident. The other thing that I haven't seen many people talking about in relation to this penalty decision was the fact that Conor Gallagher was down in the lead up. And I know it's not against the rule book to take advantage of that, but I was actually wondering, like, why don't City just put the ball out of play? Like, you don't have to do that. You're not entitled to do that. Maybe if it was Chelsea who had the numerical advantage, I wouldn't be saying that. But I just felt that Conor Gallagher had gone down. Then two Chelsea players collided into each other in the box, and City were able to take advantage of that as well in the lead up to this. In the chat, you guys are saying, Luca is saying never a pen, Richie as well. So nice to get your thoughts on this one. And then Yelena says, VAR strikes again. I was actually like To be honest with you, I was surprised when I saw the VAR check. I was like, what are they checking for? Like, it didn't even cross my mind that it could be a penalty. That's how soft it was. Until they said, oh, it's actually a penalty. I was like, what is going on? That's crazy. For me, it wasn't a penalty. I was really surprised about this, but definitely let me know your thoughts. But Chelsea were able to come back through the god that is Thiago Silva. Just love him. And it was actually a really well taken header as well, because I didn't think that the ball from Conor Gallagher was fantastic. And the way that he was able to direct it into City's goal, I just thought was really crazy, to be honest with you. I wasn't expecting that. It seems that we do tend to aim for Thiago Silva on corner kicks. And what I liked is that he actually made a run from the back. So he made the run and then got the header. And he becomes, I think, the oldest player to score in the Premier League in 10 years or something like this. But it was also a momentous occasion because it meant that Chelsea have finally freaking scored against Manchester City for the first time since the Champions League final, which is just a really sad fact, but insane. And then shortly after that, Chelsea actually go ahead versus Man City for the first time since the Champions League final through Raheem Sterling. And I low-key love that he celebrated against his former club. I thought that it was a really well taken goal from him. And Sterling is on one as well. For the goal that we conceded, I have changed this thumbnail, by the way, for this video like 3 different times, because I made it when it was 1-1, and then I changed it when it was 2-1 to Chelsea, and then now I had to change it again when it was 2-2. And I was praying that Chelsea, like, that nothing in the score changed, honestly, so I didn't have to change my thumbnail again, but here we are. And Chelsea concede from a corner again, and I find it just like frustrating to concede from a corner, because I would love to know if anybody knows how many times we've conceded from a corner this season and last season as well. It just seems like a weakness that we have. And it was a good goal, but a good goal by Akanji, but he was just unmarked and he had so much time and space in the box. I couldn't believe it. So 2-2 all. Overall, I felt that it was a really good game of football. I honestly didn't know what to expect going into this. Like, how did you guys feel ahead of the match? Because versus Spurs, obviously, Chelsea got the win. We beat them 4-1, but they were down to 9 players and they kind of capitulated after the red cards. They held on for a bit, and then the high line was just the doom of them. So I know that Chelsea tend to play better against these teams that don't have a low block, because it gives them a little bit more time and space to operate in. And we have been creating a lot of opportunities. But on the other hand, I'm thinking, well, it's Manchester City. We haven't beaten them since the Champions League final. So I really didn't know what to expect. I was going into this game with 0 expectations, hoping for the best, but preparing for the worst. And I feel that Chelsea have put on a really good performance. I feel that we've been the better team for periods in this game. And the 2 goals that we conceded, one was from a penalty that probably shouldn't have been given, and another one was from a set piece. So all in all, I think that Chelsea have looked pretty strong. Cole Palmer, again, has looked really good. You guys know I have him in my freaking fantasy team, and I was praying that he was going to score, and he had a couple of close opportunities. And how good is it to have Reece James back? Just the awareness that he has in the attacking third. He always has his head up. He's looking for those balls. That's how he got the ball. He crossed the ball for the Sterling goal. And I think, like, what he brings, just that dimension, is amazing. So he was another standout performer for me. But who are your standout performers? Let me know in the comments if you're listening to me on Twitter Spaces, or in the comments of my YouTube stream as well. Who were your standout performers? Yelena says, I was dreading this match, pleasantly surprised before. This basically sums up my thoughts as well. I didn't know what to expect, and I it's a hope that kills you, right? Because now I'm like Freak, I actually felt that we were the better team for periods, so we maybe could go on to win the game, but I don't want to get my hopes up and then just be in a mood for the rest of the night. Salad asks, thoughts on Cole Palmer versus Old Club? I thought that Cole Palmer actually looked pretty good. Did you guys see? Apparently, he got a yellow because he was scuffing up the penalty box. And like, I don't know if that was the smart, not the penalty box, the penalty spot. I don't know if that was the smartest thing of him to do, but like the shithousery just really made me laugh. And I was like, this dude is just Chelsea now. Like he's been at City for however many years, but he's out and out Chelsea. So he has 13 out of 16 accurate passes, and one accurate long ball. He's won 1 out of 3 ground duels. Not his best performance so far, but I feel like he was still a pretty standout player. I think Raheem Sterling has just looked on another level in this game, and maybe not surprising that it coincides with him getting snubbed from the England team again. I wish that he always played as if he were snubbed because he always seems to turn it on as well. So I think that Raheem Sterling has also played well. Don't think that Enzo has necessarily had his best game. Don't have any stats to back it up, just the eye test. I feel like he's lost possession. He's lost possession 6 times so far. But I think that midfield is definitely going to be key, and making sure that Chelsea just keep their cool and stick to the game plan, because I do think that Poch went into this with a very clear plan, and we've been able to see that, and we don't want to get stretched by City. And one of the things that actually, just to give Enzo a bit of praise, because we need a bit of Enzo praise, in every stream, was that at one point he was actually shouting at Conor Gallagher to get back into position instead of chasing the ball. And I thought that was really good leadership shown by him as well. By the way, guys, I have my stream like paused and muted, so let me know whenever the game starts back up again, because I'm just going to be on here talking until then. By the way, if you guys are listening on YouTube, I'm super close to 14,000 subs. I think I need just 19 more subscribers to get to that 14K mark. So if you're listening, please sub to the channel if you aren't already, because that's going to be a pretty cool milestone to hit. Hagen on YouTube says, I like Gallagher's performance so far. He's gotten into some good positions. Jackson needs to find him. Something that's interesting to see as well is that I felt that at least Gallagher was getting to almost striker position. So let's see if I can pull up Gallagher's heat map here. He's really all over the pitch. You can see that he's operating centrally here, but then he is also operating in that forward areas. And if we compare that to Nico Jackson, they're operating in very similar areas. Nico Jackson did have a shot, an opportunity as well. I haven't seen like so much from him for me to have like an opinion. Maybe he could be doing more, but overall, I think that Chelsea have actually played quite well, and we just need to keep our cool. Would you guys make any changes at halftime? Chelsea have Petrovic, Ian Matson, Malo Gusto, Badiashile, Mikhailo Mudryk, Ugo Chukwu, Madueke, Broya, and Alex Matos on the bench. So is there anybody that you would like to see feature in this game? I think maybe the standout is Mikhailo Mudryk. But yeah, I'm kind of nervous to make subs now because I feel like the team has actually played quite well. Salah asks, can Chelsea go on and win this? I mean, anything is possible. Honestly, I think that either team could perfectly go on to win this match, which is pretty crazy. And that's not something that I would have necessarily said at the beginning of the game. Like, considering that we haven't been in City since the Champions League final, which was, doing my math, 2.5 years ago, and we failed to score against them, the fact that we've scored 2 goals and we're going head to head with City, I think is super impressive. And I think that it speaks a lot about us and a lot about where we're going and the progression that we've made. So I'm really proud of the performance so far, and I hope that we can get all 3 points. I mean, that would just be absolutely massive if we can get 3 points from Spurs and then 3 points from Cities as well. Okay, everybody's telling me that the game is restarting, so I'll let you guys go here. Hope that you have, well, a great rest of the second half. Hopefully, we can come back at full time and get a Chelsea win. But thanks for tuning in, guys. I really appreciate it. It means a lot. So I'll see you all at full time for my match review. Okay, bye.